What's going on, everyone? Thanks for checking out this video. Today I get to show you this Wallke H7 all-wheel drive e-bike. Now if you're looking for an e-bike that's got great power and insanely long range, you're in the right spot, because this bike has dual 1000-watt motors and 60 amp hours of battery pack. Crazy range out of this bike. Let me tell you all about it. Let's start with some basics on this Wallke H7 all-wheel drive bike. When I checked the website this morning, the current price is $21.99, and you can get it in black or white. You can get it as a single motor or a dual motor, and you can get it with a 40 amp hour battery pack or the big boy right here, the 60 amp hour battery pack. As you see it right here, this is the $21.99 model. So it's dual motor and the big battery pack. It costs less if you get lower options. Now I'm going to walk you through all the specs on this bike front to back, but I'll put the timestamps below if you want to skip to any particular part. But first up, you got the wheel and tire package, mag wheels, and they're wrapped in CST BFT 20x4 fat tires. They have a bit of a hum going down the road, but you know, hey, that's fat tires. They all do that. They all hum a little bit going down the street. And it's a motor in the front wheel, a 1000-watt geared hub motor in the front wheel. You have to install this on setup, and I like the setup of it, right? So you got your regular suspension fork coming down. There's like a metal plate welded on the end of it. The axle goes through that, and then there's an additional metal plate here that's like a, I'll call it like a torque plate, which also keeps the axle from spinning, and that's on with Allen bolts there. So that front wheel is going nowhere. It's not going to pop out of those dropouts. I do like that setup. It feels very secure. And if we take a look at the back side of this wheel, you see you've got hydraulic disc brakes. They are 203 millimeter rotors and 4 piston calipers. They say DY Island on them. I've had these, I think, once before. Pretty good brakes, honestly. They have a lot of stopping power. I was pleased with how strong they are. They work really well. So I don't have any issue with the brakes. 4 piston calipers, 2 or 3 rotors. That's great for something like this that's got a good amount of power and is also quite heavy. Up front, you do have a suspension fork, and it did okay. I mean, I wasn't bottoming it out. It seemed to have a decent compression rate or spring rate in there, whatever you want to call it. There's just not a lot of adjustability to it. It's either locked out or open, free to spring. There's no micro adjustment to it, but it seemed to do its job. I didn't really have any issue with it. The bike comes with both front and rear fenders. They are plastic fenders, kind of have a two-tone racing stripe down the center of them. You get a headlight and a tail light as well. So here's your headlight, nice looking headlight. The tail light, when you turn on the headlights and tail lights, the Wallke lights up in the tail light. And then when you pull the brake lever, the whole thing illuminates. It's kind of cool. I like it. No turn signals on the bike though. Now let's take a quick look at the handlebars and controls. You've got a right-hand twist throttle. Perfect. Love it. Horn button right below that. And then this is your thumb shifter for 7 speeds display. And then your button cluster looks like that. Let me turn things on so you can see the display. It is a 986 display, I think. There you go. Speed really big. Pedal assist down here. Your battery life at the top. I mean, it gives you everything you need. There's, I guess, just 2 things I want to show you about this. If you go into programming, you hit the up and down arrows at the same time. And then in display settings, you can do your trip reset and your, whether you want miles per hour, kilometers an hour, your wheel size and speed limit, all those basic things that you want to set up. But let's back out of there. I want to go to the advanced setting really quick. So in here is where you can change your pedal assist information. So I've got it set for 0 to 5 right now. You can change this whether you want 3 levels, 5 levels, 7 levels, or 9 levels of pedal assist. Your choice. You can pick however many you want. You just plus and minus toggle through them like that. Now, when you hit the I key again, it'll allow you to set the amount of power in each pedal assist level. So you can kind of fine tune your pedal assist levels. Pretty cool. Not all bikes have that feature. So I just wanted to point that out. You can adjust this percent by percent. There's not much else in the advanced settings to change really. So that's the only thing you're going to want to set in there is your pedal assist levels. So let's get back out, go to exit, and we're out. So that was the first thing I wanted to show you, the settings. The next thing to show you is how you toggle through the all-wheel drive system. You see that little guy on the bike right there? His back wheel is orange. That means I'm in rear wheel drive. The bike always powers on in rear wheel drive. And to toggle through, you hold the I key down and it'll switch it to front. Hold the I key again, it switches it to all-wheel drive with lightning bolts in the middle. That's kind of like your max power. And then hold the I key again, you'll get all-wheel drive with no lightning bolts, which is kind of a tamed down version. And then hold the I key one more time, it'll go back to rear wheel. It's just kind of on a loop and you cycle through just holding the I key. It makes it a little bit cumbersome to toggle through the all-wheel drive. You can't really do it, quickly. But honestly, the way this bike is set up and the power delivery, I don't know that you're going to have to switch through the pedal assist or toggle through all the all-wheel drive settings very often. I kind of just put it in all-wheel drive max power and left it there. I never really changed it out of that setting because it's very manageable and very drivable even in its max power mode. Now for some additional specs and dimensions, and some of these will shock you. So from the ground to the top of the grips is 48 inches. The handlebars go nice and tall. The step-through height to get your foot over that spot right there, 18.5 inches. Minimum seat height, 33.5 inches. Maximum, 41.5 inch seat height. This bike weighs 122 pounds. Yep, you heard that right, 122 pounds. It has a carrying capacity of 400 pounds. And I did take that battery out, this 60 amp hour battery, and weigh it. The battery alone weighs 30 pounds, 8 ounces. So mega heavy battery, mega range out of it though. For your gearing, you've got a 48 tooth up front, and the back is a 1428. You've got feeling in the pedals up till maybe 20 miles an hour. Once you get above that, your legs are spinning pretty quick. Above 25, you're pedaling like crazy on this. The battery pack is 48 volt, 60 amp hour, over 2,800 watt hours. It does come with an 8 amp fast charger, which is huge. I've never seen a charger that big, but you need it for a battery of this capacity. Here's a quick look at your rear suspension. You've got these dual springs in the back. They're non-adjustable. I don't see any adjustment to them at all, and I would say that they are fairly stiff. You feel it working a little bit, but there's not a whole lot of motion out of these back springs. It does come with a sort of a quick release rear passenger seat that goes on the rear rack, so you can have a rack or a seat there. This looks really strong. This is all welded right to the frame. And you got the double springs. If there was ever a bike I was going to carry a full-grown adult passenger on, I think this one would do it very easily. There is no passenger pegs though, so they're just going to have to let their feet dangle. And then at the back, you've got your rear hub motor. Again, 1,000 watt motor. Each wheel has 1,000 watts, and they say that it peaks at like 1,600. I did take a peek inside this box right here to look at the controller, but there was no sticker on the controller. I do not know how many amps the controller is. So there's all your basic features and specs. Let's get out on this thing and let me tell you about the ride experience. All right, ride experience on the H7 all-wheel drive. First thing we'll talk about is just comfort. I mean, a pretty comfortable bike. It's easy to get off and on the bike because of the low step through. And then you've got a really thick plush seat, which is nice. The handlebars come up pretty high, so it's kind of an upright ride position, which is what I like. And then at 6 feet tall, I was able to get into a comfortable pedaling position. You got the adjustable bicycle seat, right? It's not a moped style bike where the seat is stationary, you can't move it. This one, there's a bunch of adjustment in it, all the way from what, 33.5 up to like 41.5. Now suspension goes along with comfort. So I like the seat. The seat's really soft. And the front fork seems okay. I don't bottom it out. It seems to have a good spring to it. The rear springs, they don't move much. All right, there's not a whole lot of compression in those springs. So it's not, I wouldn't call it a Cadillac ride. It's not super plush. It does just enough to take the stings out of the little bumps. If you're hitting bigger bumps, it's still gonna kind of bounce you up out of the seat a little bit. But I don't really think that's this bike's selling point. The selling point is gonna be the power and of course the range. The ridiculous long range, and I'm not gonna make you wait for it anymore. I'm gonna show you what happened on the range test right now. Well, we're still riding on our initial charge here from when I set up the bike. When I unboxed it, set it up, charged the battery. I've been riding all week, just little rides here and there. I'm at 52 miles, 43% battery left. This is one charge so far. I've gone the farthest I've ever gone on this greenway. I'm pretty darn far from home right now, so I'm probably gonna turn around, but we're at 52 miles, still have 43% battery left. I think we're gonna end up with a new record here for throttle only range. I guess in this thing, I mean, we're at 43% and 52 miles, 80 something probably, 80 something on the miles, throttle only, full blast, all-wheel drive. That'll be my guess. Well, we'll see where it ends up. All right, we've crossed over 62 miles. I'm still at 33% battery. I think the last dual battery bike I did a range test on went about 61 miles, 62 miles, somewhere in there. So we've already matched that. And I still have 33% battery left. This thing's crazy. Okay, folks, we are at 81 miles. I don't know if you can see it on the screen there. 81 miles. It says 25% battery left. This thing just keeps going and going and going. It won't stop. I mean, full blast like this. Look at it, it still goes 30 miles an hour. I mean, I started the day with like 30 miles on this bike, and I've put like 51 miles on today. I'm done. I'm done. I normally ride like 15 miles in a day. 50 miles? I'm ready for this to be done. I can't kill it any faster than just holding it wide open in all-wheel drive. We're probably going to hit the 90s. We're going to hit in the 90s, I bet. So what is the range of this H7 bike? I mean, it's longer than you want to ride it. That's how long the range is. It's longer than you want to ride the bike. It will break you. If you did this in like pedal assist 2 or 3, I mean, God, the thing's gonna go like 150 miles. Well, we're headed back the other way now into the wind. And this is the bike that's gonna break the rider. It will break your spirit. That's how much range it has. All right, so what's the final number gonna be? What do you think? Put your guesses in the comments section. I think I'm gonna nickname this bike Drago. Remember in Rocky, the big Russian guy, he's like, they come up to shake hands, he's like, I will break you. This bike will break you. Oh, look at that. So the battery indicator turned red on me. At 19% battery, it turned red. I got a feeling I'll be one of the rare humans that ever sees that. All right, we've crossed over the 99 mile mark, 99.3 miles on this charge. I'm at 6% battery. I didn't want to run it that low, but you've given me no choice, bike. You've given me no choice. I'm this close, I have to hit 100 now. Have to hit 100. See what kind of speed we got here. 22, 23, 24, 25, 6, 7, 28. Yeah, 29. I think that thing read 29 right when I passed it. And we're gonna break 100. And then we're calling it quits. I don't care if there's battery left. At 100, I'm done. We're done at 100. I've ridden 70 freaking miles today. 99.9. I do not want to be caught out on this thing with no battery. 100 miles. Oh God. Oh my God. Oh, the range. The range on this thing, ridiculous. Like basically throttle only for 100 miles. All right, we're back officially. Oh, 101.5, 3% battery left. Insane. Our charging light is now green. It took 8 hours with this 8 amp charger to go from 3% up to a full charge. Well, if any of you out there have range anxiety, this is your bike. I mean, that range test shows you can just ride this thing as long as you want in a day and never have to worry about it. But the other selling point, I think, is power. So you got dual 1,000-watt motors. Let's check the power. We're going to do a quick top speed run here in all-wheel drive. I got my GPS to verify our speed. Let's see. 30 on the bike, 30 on the display, 34 on the bike. 32 on the GPS. The bike says 35, the GPS says 32. 33. Okay, so anywhere 33 to 34 miles an hour probably is what you're going to get top speed on this. That's pretty decent. It's not crazy. You know, this isn't an all-wheel drive bike that's just crazy. Some of them have crazy power that's borderline dangerous and uncontrollable. That's not this bike. It's got good, strong, solid power. You can go, 33, 34 miles an hour on it, but it's not scary. I wouldn't hesitate to put anybody on this bike. There's other all-wheel drive bikes that have it. You don't know what you're doing. I wouldn't let you touch those bikes. They're dangerous. This is not. It's just good, strong, solid power. I would do it again here, pedaling, but honestly, you just can't keep up with the pedals. The gearing is set really low. It's meant for low speed pedaling. Once you hit 25 miles an hour, your legs are just spinning like crazy. You're ghost pedaling. So there's no inputting in the pedals past probably 28. Now, as we drive over to the hill climb, I'm going to talk about pedal assist. So I'm in pedal assist 1. Let me just use the throttle here really quick. So it's maintaining 7 miles an hour, pedal assist 1, and then you hit 2, it drags you full power up to like 15, 16, cuts out. 3, you get, full power again up to 20. So the pedal assist is speed based. It's taking you up to a specific mile per hour mark, and your throttle is linked to your pedal assist. If you're in pedal assist 1, you only get level 1 throttle. Some of them are set up where you get full power out of the throttle all the time. This one's not. All right, we're coming up to our hill test right here. We go up this same hill with all the bikes and we time them. I got certain markers out there where I stop the time. Now, the 750 watt bikes will go up the hill like 22 to 25 seconds. With all-wheel drive, I'm betting we'll be down in the teens easily. It's gonna be strong, but not the strongest. 3, 2, 1, go. See how there was no crazy burnout and wheel spin? This bike's just very drivable. Good solid power. I mean, we're climbing like crazy. Normally right here in this spot in the hill, I'm going like 11 miles an hour. This bike's going 18. And time. So I don't know how fast I was. I'm gonna say probably, 16 seconds or so. But it's not the fastest all-wheel drive or most powerful I've ever been on. But it has good, solid, controllable power. Now I'm going to ride through the grass a little bit here. You can hear that rattling. That's the battery is a little bit loose in that cage. It's kind of jumping around, which they probably should secure that a little bit tighter, but it hasn't caused me any issues. All right, testing our brakes on the way down here. Ready? Very strong, very nice brakes. I can't say enough good things about these brakes. The brand, I see them a whole lot, but they do work well. How they hold up over time, I don't know. I've only got 110 miles on this thing, but they've been great. They haven't been noisy or squealy or anything. So I definitely like those. I mean, the bike feels solid. You don't really feel the weight. It's a really heavy bike, but riding it, you don't really notice the weight. It feels pretty planted on the ground. Maybe that's because of the weight. I mean, it's easy to get off and on. It's stable. I can let go of the handlebars and it tracks straight. I can ride no-handed, no problem. I can even navigate turns no-handed. And I'm pedaling with the motor engaged. Stop, start again. It takes a while for that pedal assist to kick in, a couple rotations, but. All right, now I've mentioned several times that the all-wheel drive system is very drivable, right? It doesn't have a lot of wheel spin, doesn't get scary on you. I'm gonna do something I never do in all-wheel drive. So I'm gonna do a U-turn, and we're gonna smash the gas in the middle of the turn. I'm in all-wheel drive maximum power, and there was 0 wheel spin on that turn. Let's do it again. I can't do this on the other all-wheel drive bikes. The wheel spin would be crazy, and you'd be falling to the pavement. Let's go, we're gonna do a U-turn, middle of the turn, full throttle. No spin at all. It's pretty hard to get this front wheel to spin out from under you. It's really, like I said, kind of a manageable all-wheel drive with solid power. All right, let me show you how you remove this gigantic battery pack. Step 1, turn the key off and then push and turn it the whole way to release the pin there and allow the battery to slide out. Next, you're gonna wanna remove the seat so you can allow the battery to slide out. Get that out of the way. Then you're gonna unplug the battery right here. Grab hold of the handle and lift up. 30-pound battery, absolutely huge. All right, you had a chance to ride this thing for a minute. What do you think?
Well, I like the way it looks. It's that's always a thing I take into consideration, the appearance of the bike and whether it's an eye-catching bike. I do like it. In riding it, I felt that it was very stable. I felt very secure on the bike. It's strong. It's a real beefy frame on it. Comfortable. I mean, the seat was nice. The ride position was good. I was able to, zigzag around and felt very good on it. I almost missed a stop sign one time, and So I had to nail the brakes pretty good, and they stopped me right on a dime. So the braking on it is very good. It doesn't set you back in the seat. It doesn't have a lot of power off the line. It doesn't grab and go. In the turbo mode, it will not spin the front wheel like some of the other ones do, but it does get up and go. I mean, it's okay. I found myself wanting to ride in the turbo mode all the time.
Yeah, because that's manageable.
Yeah, you don't worry about it like you did on some of the other ones. I mean, this bike's not going to get away from you, probably because of the weight of the bike. It's very heavy. I have a hard time moving the bike and sliding it in the garage. The rear end is so heavy on it. So it is a heavy bike. It's not a bike that I'm going to be putting up on the bike rack on my truck or lifting it up in the back of the bed. I mean, this is a bike that is going to stay on the ground. I think it would be a nice bike for long rides. I mean, like I said, it's comfortable, it's solid.
Any major dislikes on it?
It takes a little bit getting through the different modes, of holding the button to change, and it's not like you can change from rear wheel to front wheel or vice versa real quick. You got to kind of go through all four modes to get back to where you want to be. Not a big deal. Like I said, I would end up riding it in the turbo mode all the time anyways.
All right, well, hopefully those clips gave you a better feel for what it's like actually riding this H7 bike from Wallke. And let me just, I guess, wrap things up here and tell you some of the major things I think you need to know. So the first is the power. It's definitely one of the selling points on this bike. Good, strong power out of the dual 1,000-watt motors. This is the all-wheel drive version. You can also get single-wheel drive, but really strong power, but it's controllable. You almost never get front wheel spin. Even when I tried to make it spin and I put it in loose sand and hit the gas, it still didn't spin out. So it's very drivable, controllable. It feels very stable for a step-through bike. The frame doesn't really flex much at all. It's easy to get off and on because you got the step-through, and you can put yourself into a pretty comfortable ride position since you can adjust the seat height. The rear springs, they don't bounce a whole lot. There's not a lot of motion in them, so I wouldn't call it a Cadillac ride or a plush ride, but it's definitely nicer than a hardtail. The next selling feature of this, battery pack. Absolutely huge, 60 amp hours. I mean, I rode almost throttle only. I didn't pedal much at all. In pedal assist 5, all-wheel drive, not conserving battery, and I went 100 miles on this thing. That's insane. So there's no range anxiety with this. You can ride it basically as long as you want in a day. So huge selling feature there. The other thing you really need to be aware of is the weight. If you're going to buy an e-bike because you want to load it into the back of your truck or your SUV, you take it somewhere to ride it, or you're going to transport it a lot, I don't think this is your bike. This is a 122-pound e-bike. Even just in the garage, if you're trying to pivot it around and you want to move the back end, like, you got to reach down, grab this frame, get ready. And I mean, it's pretty heavy. You better eat your Wheaties for that one because it is not a light bike. So if you're looking for lightweight portability, definitely not for you. If you're looking for strong, controllable power and mega range, this is your guy. So there you go. I hope I answered a lot of your questions. If I missed something, definitely drop it in the comments below. I'll do my best to answer if I can. Hope you found this helpful, informative, at least entertaining. This seems like a bike you want to pick up. I'll put a link to it below so you can check it out. And I think that's all for today. So thanks so much for watching.